John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hey there, consumer credit expert John Ulzheimer here. I hope everyone is having a great day. I have over 30 years of experience in the credit industry. I've worked for a variety of very well-known credit-related companies. Today I'm going to give you kind of a thumbnail pocket guide to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the federal statute that it's a consumer protection statute. It's 90 some odd pages long. It's been around for over 50 years, and it's the federal statute that kind of defines how the credit reporting industry has to operate. And it also is the statute that gives consumers the rights to do certain things vis-a-vis their credit reports and their credit scores. So while I'm going to do my best to give you as much information as possible in a compressed period of time, understand that I'm not going to be able to cover everything in a 5 or 6 minute video. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FCRA, I'm going to use that for short. The FCRA gives us a lot of rights. Number one is we have the right to free copies of our credit reports every 12 months. That may have made sense in 2003 when that particular portion of the FCRA was written. It doesn't make a lot of sense today because our credit reports are so important still. And the credit industry has really stepped up. And as of the filming of this video, the credit industry is giving consumers access to their credit reports free weekly, not annually. So you can actually pull your credit report 52 times, times 3, because there's 3 credit bureaus, if you'd like to. And that is going through April of 2022. My guess is that the credit bureaus are going to extend that. They've actually already extended it once. And so I suspect that they will extend that again. So free credit reports, which is really nice. I love free stuff. Number 2, restricted access to your credit reports. And so it's not the wild, wild west. So a company actually has to have a legitimate business reason for pulling your credit report. And in the FCRA, that's referred to as a permissible purpose. I'll give you a couple examples. You apply for a job, the employer has permissible purpose. You apply for insurance, the insurance company has permissible purpose. If someone is attempting to collect a debt, then they can pull a credit report because they have permissible purpose. If you want a copy of your own credit report, then yes, you have permissible purpose to pull your own credit report. You notice I haven't even mentioned lending. We all know that lending and the use of a credit report for risk assessment for that legitimate business purpose is obviously another maybe the most common use of credit reports. So another right that we enjoy is the right to challenge information on our credit reports with which we disagree. And so that's generally referred to as the dispute resolution process. So if you have something on your credit report that you feel is wrong, like an account that you think is not yours, or a balance is wrong, or a collection that you say you paid or settled, and it's not reflecting as such on your credit report, you have the right to challenge that information, and the credit reporting agencies have to perform a reasonable investigation in response to your dispute. Another right that you own or that you enjoy as a consumer is you have a whole lot of fraud protections. So you can place a fraud alert on your credit report, that's free. You can place a security freeze on your credit report, that's free. In fact, if you had to do one of the two, even though it's not a bad idea to do both, but if you had to choose one of the two, I would always choose the security freeze over the fraud alert, because the security freeze essentially takes your credit reports out of circulation until you choose to put them back into circulation. Another one that's kind of interesting underneath that umbrella of fraud is if you have an item on your credit report and everybody agrees that it was caused because of fraud, you agree, the credit bureaus agree, the lender agrees, everybody agrees that it was caused because of fraud, the credit reporting agencies actually have to block the reporting of that account. So in other words, it can never actually accidentally be re-reported by the lender, again, accidentally. So that's another nice protection that consumers enjoy. The one thing I didn't mention that I do want to mention is that dispute resolution process that I mentioned a moment ago. There's no charge for that. So if you go directly to the credit bureaus and you file disputes, then there is no charge for that. Another one that's really important is the amount of time information can remain on credit reports. The good stuff, meaning positive information, can remain indefinitely, even though the credit bureaus will remove inactive accounts after a decade. That's a matter of policy. There's no requirement for them to do that. The bad stuff, most negative information does have a finite amount of time that it can remain on a credit report. So, and it's usually 7 to 10 years. 7 years for late payments, collections, charge-offs, defaults, things like that. Some bankruptcy information can remain on your credit reports for longer than 7 years. Chapter 7 bankruptcies, for example, can remain for 10 years. So hopefully this gave you a really good insight into some of your protections under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There are clearly more, obviously, but I could be here all day long talking about them. If you have any other questions about your protections or the Fair Credit Reporting Act, drop them in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching and have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.